And welcome back to the Real Recipe and to another edition of the Raw out of 10. And yeah, big show today because it is the go home show before Fastlane. So yeah, we had a lot going on. The final bill between that contract signings in Gunther and Ciampa for their match. Becky Lynch fresh off the title defence at No Mercy, so lots going on. But Raw kicked off with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler fighting in the aisle. The show was supposed to start with their match, but it all started with mayhem. Raquel joined Baszler's side and Rhea linked up with Jax. After everyone else has cleared the room, Ripley grabbed the mic and said she was not done until she takes care of Judgment Day's business. After a break, Ripley said that she left the group in Priest's hands and disappointed her. He threw Dominic under the bus and pointed out how he lost the title. Rhea told Dom if he doesn't get his belt back, he may as well not come. Jey Uso came out because he was originally slated to face Priest, but Priest wasn't cleared. He said they missed Ripley on Raw, which caused Dom to get angry and said he could take care of Jey for Mummy. JD McDonough came out to help Dom, but Cody joined Jey and helped him clear the ring, opening the show with 2 Raws and a bunch of talking instead of any matches. Is definitely not unusual, but it still felt like a lot of nothing. The tension is building within Judgment Day, which is interesting. But with Ripley back, the storyline can really be kicked into full gear now. By the time the segment was over, most people probably forgot about it and moved on to maybe the proper start of the show, which was Alpha Academy versus Imperium. Chad Gable and Otis couldn't seem to escape Imperium, and they stepped into the ring with Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser for a tag match this week. We've seen all of these men fight each other in various combinations in tag and singles bouts for the past few months, so there was nothing new here, but it doesn't mean it was bad. All 4 guys have been good workers, so everything they did looked good. It's just hard to get excited about a match we've seen multiple times. The new wrinkle in the story here came with Gunther telling Kaiser he was responsible for Vinci now, so Kaiser was trying to make sure that they didn't get anything to get in trouble. It's one of the matches that could only be made less enjoyable how aggressive it is. The action was great and the crowd reacted to everything, so those in their job did it well. But yeah, it just kind of feels like we've seen it all the time. But yeah, with Kaiser getting the pin, he's in Gunther's good books for now, but for how long will that last? 6 out of 10. Cedric Alexander was then in action against Bronson Reed. It's the first time I think we've seen Cedric Alexander in TV in a long time, but he didn't really get a TV entrance. He just managed to get a lot of influence in early, but managed to fight to throw his opponent off balance. However, Reed eventually took him down with a senton before climbing out the top rope to hit the Tsunami for the win. This was pretty much a squash by definition, but it was pretty close. I mean, yeah, it gets a 5 out of 10 from me though. I just wish they'd do more with Cedric Alexander. Bronson Reed's great and everything, but yeah, I mean, he deserves more than TV entrance, a little bit of offense at the start. I mean, come on, Alexander's great, let's do a bit more of him, if you know what I mean. I think, yeah, that's kind of how a lot of people would feel about this particular match. Before we moved on to Xavier Woods versus Ivar, Ciampa and Gunther met for their contract signing before that, and their former guy was passionate about how fighting for the IC title means much to him before getting on the dotted line. Gunther respected Ciampa's motive fighter, but Ciampa didn't care. He just wanted to watch the ring general sign a contract. Once they were signed, they confirmed the match would take place later in the show, and not on the weekend, which is a bit weird, and they started to brawl, but yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, decent contract signing, kind of, it ended up in usual stuff, but the promos before that were decent. But while Eric was out of injury and Valhalla was nowhere to be seen, Ivar was all alone, and after what appeared to be a botched powerbomb in the corner, Ivar tried to hit a moonsault. Woods was able to avoid it and rolled Ivar up for the pin. The Viking Raider immediately attacked him and took out Kofi when he tried to help. This was a decent match, but the storyline kind of feels incomplete without Eric, and yeah, all of this feels like filler until everyone's back. So yeah, it was alright, good action, going to sense at the end, I think kind of always inevitable, but yeah, just lacking that little bit. I'll go with 6 out of 10. Next up was Chelsea Green versus Tegan Nox, but before that, Seth Rollins gave a promo about his feud with Nakamura, but the King of Strong Style attacked him from behind and proved he could be down for a 10 count, putting a message across. But yeah, Piper Niven was at ringside to support her teammate Green, and after it looked like Niven would get involved, Natty came out to stand in Nox's corner and even in the playing fields. This gave the Welsh wrestler the chance she needed to hit the shiniest wizard for the win. This was too short to be much of anything, but they did look bad. This will likely lead to Nox and Natty teaming up to challenge for the women's tag belts at some point soon. And yeah, to be honest, the division at the moment just kind of feels so irrelevant for me. It's kind of hard to get invested in any of it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. But anyway, Drew McIntyre came out to cut a promo about why he's been acting the way he has in recent weeks. So Scott doesn't owe an explanation to anyone except his fans. He said he's going to stop everyone's saviour and get involved in fights he didn't start. This was supposed to be a Miz TV segment, but the A-lister showed up and started ranting about what McIntyre did to him last week. Of course, this turned into a fight that ends up with Scottish Warrior taking him out, and yeah, the ref was calling for the bell. The Miz tries to run away and avoid it, but McIntyre caught and slammed him into the barricade. And yeah, a few times McIntyre won, but in a dirty way. He explains to turn back on, slam Miz into it before hitting the Future Shock DDT. Like most of the matches this week, there wasn't much, but it wasn't terrible. It was just kind of there. But you know, I'm liking McIntyre's new character. Yeah, kind of does make sense, and it's definitely new for him to do. It's a classic kind of Miz segment where he loses when he's not ready, etc., etc. But you know, it's still good fun. 7 out of 10 for me. Before it's time for our main event, Gunther v Ciampa for the IC title, and WWE gave this battle the last half hour, so they have plenty of time to wait with. Kaiser and Vinci didn't stay at ringside as the champion didn't have his henchmen to rely on. It was just made him angry, bearded man who loved the girls. Ciampa came out of the gate strong, but once the ring general regained his composure and began dominating his smaller opponent, even though Ciampa was giving up a lot of size, he never really felt like an underdog because he was so aggressive with his offense. It was one of the things that made things fun to watch, and after a long competitive match, Gunther won with a sleeper hold to retain the title. This was an excellent match between two guys obviously known for bangers, as Kaiser and Vinci delivered a beatdown. Johnny Gargano came out to make the save for Ciampa and ended with DIY hitting their finisher on Kaiser, and yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. This was a brilliant match, and Gargano returning, we've been waiting for it so long, was kind of the cherry on the cake. DIY back together, and hopefully it can give them some true direction. But yeah, great main event and great closing segment, and overall Raw this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, a really solid episode of Raw this week, I have to say. I think, yeah, the main event was fun. Some of the matches were like the cards. Some of it did feel like filler, but yeah, I think a lot of the matches were good fun. Yeah, really enjoyable matches. We build into Fastlane. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and subscribe to any wrestling news and subscribe to my channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.